is my second movie review of today because if you saw my last one, I saw 1917 and it was emotionally draining. And after the emotionally draining experience I had of 1917, I needed to see another movie that was just lighthearted, fun, and just gave me something else to think about, basically, that wasn't war and depression and sadness. So last night I saw Like a Boss. Like a Boss is the new comedy, like girls' night movie that came out. It stars Tiffany Haddish and Rose Byrne and Salma Hayek. My honest opinion of this movie is that it was absolutely terrible. I gave it a 2 out of 10. I feel like this movie tried too hard in some areas. Some of the humor was just absolutely cringeworthy. Some of it was just like really cheap humor, and I thought the movie, like the whole message and story of the movie was a message and story that's been done 100 times, most of them better. 100's probably a low estimate. It's probably been done thousands of times, and I just don't think the movie was very good. So the premise is these two girls run their makeup line, and they are severely in debt, and all of their friends around their age, they seem to be like 30-ish, have nicer homes, are married, have families, have like secure, stable careers, and these two are $490,000 in debt, living together as roommates in a home that they only have because Tiffany Haddish's mother died and gave them the home. At one point during the movie, Salma Hayek's character, who is this rich, investing businesswoman, comes to them and says she wants to buy their company. She said she'll pay off their debt for a 51% stake in the company. Tiffany Haddish is like, no, absolutely not. She like puts up a fight. Rose's character is like, no, like we need this. They agree to make the deal eventually, but only if it's 49%, 51%, with them having more control of their own company. And Salma Hayek's character agrees, and she's like, yep, all good, perfect. But if you guys break up, if you guys separate at all for any reason, then I get 51% share. So then, as you can imagine, the storyline focuses on Salma Hayek's character trying to break up their friendship, trying to get them to turn on each other, trying to get 51% stake, and just ruin their lives. She takes time and speaks to them separately and gives them lectures about how like she also used to have a best friend that like she had to cut ties with in order to really succeed in her business, and she just says a lot of things to both of them that like will get under their skin to try and get them to leave the other one. She like coerces them into conversations they don't like. She gets dirt on them. She has a lot of dirty words to try and break up the friendship. It does kind of work. Their friendship gets shattered. Tiffany Haddish's character tells Rose's character off. They break up. Salma Hayek gets her stake, and then of course they realize that friendship is more important, and they come back and they defeat her and get their company and get all their money, and the movie ends with them being super rich and super successful and happily ever after, right? It's a very simple storyline, but it's a comedy, so the movie is focused on comedy around this super simple basic storyline, and the comedy is just so crude and so like like there were people in my theater, there was at least 3 people that just got up and walked out because they're like, no. Like the movie opens with them just talking about having dream sex with Barack Obama. There's like a scene where it's a baby shower and the cake is like a woman's vagina and a baby coming out of it, and the cake is covered in like chocolate sprinkles that are supposed to be like pubes, and the girls that have had babies like go into detail about how they like to present themselves during labor, and it's just, these are things that I guess are supposed to be funny, but they're just, I kind of sat there like, oh, like, you know, when you feel like secondhand embarrassment for someone, because like, to me, I mean, there were people in my theater that laughed, yeah, but like to me, I was like, oh, this is, I don't like this. If that's your kind of humor, then go see this movie. But to me, That's not my kind of humor. I did not enjoy myself. There was also one scene during the baby shower too that Tiffany Haddish and Rose's character, like, they go upstairs and sneak into this room to smoke a blunt, and then they find out after that like a baby has been sleeping in this room, and then they like drop their blunt into the baby's crib and they then pose the baby with it to like make it look like it's smoking the blunt. And I'm pretty sure that if that was a thing that happened in real life and anyone ever saw those pictures, that Child Protection Services would be called. Like, I don't think that's a good thing to do or promote in a movie, but people in my theater laughed, so I guess people thought it was funny. There's also this like really aggressive scene that involves like somebody eating hot food and then drinking cold milk and spitting it all up over someone, and it's just a lot of the humor, pretty much all of the humor, just, it's not for me, did not hit with me. I don't know if I laughed a single time throughout the movie. I was just more like, yeah, this is rough. I don't like this. There's like jokes about Salma Hayek's character. The character she plays is just like very kind of vapid appearance folk. Like, I don't know. I did not like this movie. I didn't really have anything else to say about it. I don't like it. Some people are gonna like it. I think it currently has like a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes. I gave it a 2 out of 10. I don't think it's great. I don't think it's worth seeing, but if this sounds like the type of comedy that you're into, go for it. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Hopefully the next movie I see, one will be better. So stay tuned.